This time of year that some of the most important things that we do are not characterized first by being efficient. And Wood's graduation is not an efficient affair. So I'm going to give you a little stretch break. Just a second to stand up and stretch it out. Go ahead. Stand up. You'll be glad you did, trust me. All right, sit down. Last night I was confiding with my wife that I was struggling with what I might say at today's graduation, and the curt response from my sweet and loving wife was, "Oh baby, you know nobody cares what the adults say at a Woods graduation." So in deference to that advice from an honest friend, and to you, I will try to be brief. I really just have two quick stories I want to discuss. And at the risk of being redundant for you seniors, I'm going to recount a story that I shared at Thursday night's senior dinner. Only because I think it says a lot about your class that the rest of the crowd might benefit from. I jokingly titled the story, "The Morning After." And it's the morning after the senior prank. And just as a little background for our guests, a little context is that Wood students are good at so many things, astoundingly good at so many things, but not so good at pranks, historically. I mean, we have a few exceptions, but generally they're just not very good at pranks. So the morning after the senior prank, I was in my office with the sheriff. He was there related to something not to do at all with the seniors, an incident that happened in our parking lot over the weekend. Not related to the seniors, not related to anybody from Woods. And he was asking to look at the security cameras. And he was also, part of the senior prank involved wrapping with Christmas gift wrap everything in my office. The windows, my desk, my chair, my Kleenex box, my rain jacket, my pens, my mouse, my keyboard, my books. That was part of it. And so he was in there and he was having a good chuckle at my expense. And I must confess that checking the security cameras is a perennial and annoying and unpleasant experience for me. People will say to me, "You know, somebody dinged my car in the side parking lot. Could you check the cameras and see who it was?" Or they'll say, I think I left my phone on one of the benches. Could you check the cameras and see if I did?" And I usually almost always go to the cameras and see nothing. And you can spend a lot of time to confirm nothing. And indeed, with the sheriff, we looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, nothing. So while he was there, and I just said, well, let's see who was here last night. And so I just, with my little computer controls, I just thought, let's just pick a time. Let's go 9:40 p.m. Let's choose a camera. Let's choose the front office lobby camera. Let's dial that in. Ding. And right away, 4 people on camera, 4 identifiable people. I've got them: Matt, Peter, Kai, David, busted. I know who did the prank. I was so proud of myself. I was proud of our security system for the first time. And my first thought was, since the sheriff's here, let's bring those 4 down and mess with them a little bit. But then we explored further. We looked at a little more tape. And then we realized what the cameras revealed was this highly orchestrated, highly organized, concerted operation that involved almost the entire senior class. There was this back and forth of small squads on assignment. So deliberate and coordinated. And they were having so much fun. And except for the very small charge of unlawful trespass, everything was completely legal. It was fascinating and mesmerizing to watch the orchestration. All these teams moving so deliberately throughout the building. And here comes a truck with an extension ladder. What's that for? And what's Sophie got in that large bag? And where are they going with all those tubes of wrapping paper? My official posture as principal is, as it must be, of course, toward pranks, that they are bad. Something to be avoided, something possibly to be punished. But I watched them for a long time on the cameras. all the way to the end where you see Kathy in her loving matriarchal mode and holding a lot of keys in your hand, shepherding everyone out the door. And my heart was just aglow. My heart was aglow. It made me so happy to see them so together and so coordinated and so jovial. This is a class that deeply respects the individuality of its members, really insists on the individuality of its members. And it's a group that comes together as a cohesive team. That balance between the individual and the group is an intricate one. It's a balance that will be important for many parts of your life. It's a balance that I believe democracy requires us to get right. So thank you all for offering up a model. The next story, the last story, involves another video montage, but not related to you seniors. It comes not from you, but it's one that I read this past year, and when I read it, I did think right away of you seniors. It comes from an essay from a contemporary author named Brett Anthony Johnson. Johnson describes how when he turned 40, a friend sent him a video for his birthday, a video montage that was 8 minutes, 43 seconds long. And it showed just one thing. It showed just one thing, which was Johnson trying to land a certain skateboard trick and falling 160 times. And the montage was made all the more cutting by the video's soundtrack, which was from 9 Inch Nails, 2 songs. Something I Can Never Have and Hurt. Now most of us don't like to watch videos of ourselves, even when we're doing something good. To say nothing of videos that capture us in our repeated failures, our busts and our falls. So imagine what it would be like to be served up this gift for your birthday. Here's what Johnson says. The video charts my 4-year quest to land something called a 360 varial, in which you launch above the lip of a ramp, spin the board a full rotation, catch it with your lead hand, and pull it back under before re-entry. For every fall in the video, there were hundreds my friend didn't include, and still hundreds more weren't filmed at all. So it goes. Skateboarders spend their lives working to reconcile balance and gravity, struggling to negotiate a truce that will last through each trick. But balance is kind of a fickle and cowardly twerp, and gravity a burly disciplinarian. Johnson continues, learning to skate is in fact tantamount to learning to fall. Skateboarders are so familiar with the act that they've developed a crude taxonomy for all the falls, names for all of them. There are scorpion falls, which are belly flops so violent that your back arches and your toes nearly tap your scalp. And Wilsons, in which the board shoots forward and you loop backward like a cartoon character slipping on a banana. And credit cards, which find the tip of your board securely slotted where the sun does not shine. He says, I've broken bones and knocked my pelvis out of alignment and blacked out from hitting my head at the bottom of a drained pool. I have a red wishbone-shaped scar on my shin that would probably be less prominent if I'd gotten stitches. There was enough blood to soak a favorite pair of socks. And I recently bashed my thumb so completely that for a while my phone couldn't recognize my fingerprint. Usually though, I just collect my board and try the trick again, and again, and again. My most punishing falls happen precisely when I'm trying not to fall. The issue is that timidity is almost as dangerous as recklessness. My wishbone scar is a result of botching a trick I've had in the bag for 2 decades. Today I consider it a reminder that falls lurk around every corner. The trick, as it were, is to reach a détente with falling, to accept its inevitability while refusing to see it as a setback. I understood that every trick brings with it a certain number of falls. The number is different for every trick and every skater, but if we can just outlast the stretch of falling, then we'll ride away clean. For skaters, and maybe for everyone, falling is an investment, a means of gathering information, its own kind of promise. And he concludes, or maybe, and this feels truest to me, falling was never the problem. The problem was what I wasn't doing, which is making the trick. It's tempting to equate that with falling, but that would be a mistake. The trick is the destination, but it's a fleeting one. Gone as soon as you've arrived. What you can't see until later is that falling has been at once the road and the map that led you there. Now, I will predict that most of you don't have a lot of skateboarding in your future. With more confidence, I will predict that you will have many, many falls in your future. And we who love you, we don't ever want to see you fall. That's counter to everything within us. But we also have so much hope for what you will do in this world. And that will require you to adopt a mindset that befriends the fall. Not to like them necessarily, but to regard them, as Johnson says, as an investment, a means of gathering information, its own kind of promise. And when we have talked about educating you all to be responsible adults, that is what we mean, responsible, literally, able to respond. And with that, I'll close with a famous passage from Viktor Frankl about just this sort of responsibility. And for those of you who have not yet read him, Frankl was a writer and psychologist who spent almost 3 years in some of the most notorious concentration camps. A man who knew the real and ultimate fall. He knew Auschwitz and Dachau. His experience yielded for him one main truth, in his words. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And that space is our power to choose our response. And our response lies our growth and our freedom. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. We who lived in concentration camps can remember the men who walked through the huts, comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. They may have been few in number, but they offer sufficient proof that everything can be taken from a person but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Seniors, we do not wish for you a future without falls. We cannot wish for you a future without falls. We do wish for you to be responsible, able to respond. We do wish that you be free. Thank you.